Hello, trading is closed on April 22nd, 2021. First order of business, as always, is our disclaimer. There it is. Just remember, I can be completely wrong. Trade at your own risk. We had some targets for today. We said if we didn't gap up, we should see them print 41.47.41, 41.43.37. Both numbers printed. You can see there was a support resistance area. Look for the pattern with the early low. This is it. Tomorrow also has the early low. Typically, it's a positive pattern with an early low and a high in the final hour, and typically that's higher, but it doesn't have to be. And when it isn't, it should lead to more weakness. It can all be invalidated if we take this high out early, which seems kind of a tall order, but it might not be as tall as it appears at first blush. Let's just go over what we said. We said unless we gap up, the lower numbers are favored to print. They did. These are my calls for next week's patterns. This is a retest of prior lows. So far the retest has held. We do have a higher target. MEJT gave a signal this is a false move, gives this target 41.6286, most likely to print tomorrow. There's an ultimate buy signal, has the same target. And remember, I get about one failure on these ultimate signals every 2 or 3 years out of 150 ultimate signals a year, but it just means it prints ultimately. It doesn't have to happen tomorrow, even though the number is the same. And also remember, when you're near a new high, that's when failed signals tend to occur. That looks like pretty serious damage here, but unless we gap down tomorrow sharply, I'm looking for 41.6286. In addition, this drop is in response to a news item, and the rule for that is these drops tend to be reversed quickly and completely, meaning if all goes according to the norm, we'll overtake today's high tomorrow. It's possible to count this as a completed ABC down. The fibs are all fine. This is a diamond on stilts pattern. Here's your stilt. Here's your diamond. It's a lopsided diamond, but it's still a diamond. Typically there's resistance over the origin of the left stilt, but there's also resistance over the high of the pattern. So if we do recover this tomorrow, as we normally do from a news item, you'll have resistance over the high, which is 41.7957. The all-time high close was 41.8547, and that's resistance too. So if we do recover this, it doesn't mean we're off to the races again, because there's resistance right at the area of these highs. I think even without using Fibonacci or Elliott, you can make a case this could be a double top in progress here. This is not my favorite count, but I had a count I preferred ending around 41.36, plus or minus. This is a high about 1.5% higher. I guess in the scheme of things, it isn't the end of the world if it holds. I'm not convinced yet it will, but there is resistance right around those highs. And there's also some elements of timing coming in towards the end of next week. So if we do recover it and stall, it's not going to be a favorable condition. Bulls really want to clear these highs pretty fast and convincingly because this is a negative pattern with sentiment at extremes, with DeMarc's discredited, by me anyway, sell signals in alignment, a lot of resistance in this area, even though it's 1.5% higher than where I thought the high was going to be. Well, tomorrow's pattern has the early low. You could still gap up. There's a higher target. Unless we gap down smartly, it's favored to print. The big drop today was in response to a news item. Such drops should recover quickly and completely, meaning normally we'd overtake today's high tomorrow, but if we don't, you've got a weak pattern which is normally positive, and more weakness should be coming. I have personal business tomorrow, personal business all this weekend. I'm going to try to do a video. I might not be able to do one, even if I do, I won't have the usual amount of time. I prefer, in order to come up with a call. Normally, whenever I'm occupied, that's when the market likes to make big moves. Kind of knows when I'm going to be busy. Anyway, we do look for a recovery tomorrow, 4162.86 at least, unless we gap down. And normally we recover this high tomorrow. I still think it recovers at some point, but if it waits till the end of the week and stalls, particularly if it makes a new closing high but not a new intraday high by the end of the week, all the elements are there for a top. And that's today's call.